Yeah, and we won like small nonprofit of the year from the chamber
did
last
you?
year.
Yeah.
Not this year, but last year. So that was like we didn't know.
Welcome back to Connections in Callets. I'm Katie Keaton, your Southwest Washington realtor.
And Gabby Graves, your hometown lender.
And today we are connecting with an angel from heaven. But really, I mean, we're connecting with Rhonda Black, who is from heaven, helping every veteran in need. Hello.
Hello.
We are so excited to have Rhonda on. She's going to tell us all about the organization, the different events they have coming up, and all of the services that they provide to our local veteran community. And Gabby and Rhonda are good friends. Earlier,
yes,
Rhonda did say that Gabby was her favorite daughter, although Gabby is not actually her daughter. So.
I am. Well, I mean, she said it, so I am. We're going to put it on the record, girls. You heard it here first. Rhonda has 3 daughters. I'm friends with all of them. And so I've kind of been adopted into their family many years ago. So I am her favorite daughter.
Right.
Yeah, yes. That's what she said.
And we are excited to have Rhonda on. So tell us a little bit about Heaven in general. Give us the elevator pitch. Give us the overview. And then we'll dig into the details with you.
So real quick, Heaven, HEVIN, stands for Helping Every Veteran in Need, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
That's right.
Okay. So yeah, what is the origin story?
So the origin story was probably maybe 2016. We had a friend who was in need, and we took him some money, and we left his home and thought, wow, there's like no services for somebody who has an emergency need. He had to have a hip replacement. And so it was like, we wore very heavily on both of us, but really my husband more. And so we talked about it and how hard it is for veterans to accept money and ask for help. And so then like maybe a week later, he had this whole dream of heaven. He went to sleep, he dreamt about it, he woke up and he was really excited. He told me the dream and I was like, wow, that's amazing. And he's like, we need to do this. And I was like, no, we are not doing this.
Your husband, Rich.
Rich, yes. And so he was like, we really need to. So, I mean, usually he gets a lot of great ideas. Like, he's the dreamer, I'm the doer, right? So
absolutely.
Every relationship has to have one of each.
That's
absolutely,
right. That's
yes.
right. And I did not want to be the doer of this project. I was like, I don't know how.
I remember this actually, yes, because you guys own a business. You run a business.
Yes.
And so
yes.
Having a nonprofit on top of that was kind of, like you said, you weren't trying to sign up for this.
Right. Also, I had a full-time job, so
yes.
on top of that. And so I was like, yeah, this is just not something I know how to do. I don't want to do it. I would go onto the IRS website and look at the paperwork for the 501c3 and I would feel overwhelmed. And I was like, I don't want to do this. And so
I love this dream, but this isn't my dream.
This is for someone else to do. Someone smarter and better and kinder and who likes people.
Basis.
So true.
So, but anyways, yeah, what happened was it stayed on his mind for a long time, which isn't typical for him, right? So I started to pray about it and I was like, okay, God, is this really a dream you gave my husband? Because if it's God's will and it's my husband's will combined, I will do it. But like, okay, God, give me some ginormous signs. And so all of a sudden, it was like everywhere I would go, all of a sudden, I'm talking to veterans. I'm talking about veterans. I'm talking about veterans needing help. I'm talking to people who are like, I would mention it and they'd be like, yeah. And so all of a sudden, it's like all these things are happening. And I'm like, okay, I feel like this is probably what we're supposed to do, but I'm still scared.
Right.
And so it was just weird. One day, he was grouchy when he woke up and he was going to work. And I was like, what do you need to make your day better? And he was like, I just need heaven to get going.
I literally have goosebumps.
I do too.
It definitely is like the feeling when you're like, okay, this is my passion. This is what we need to do. I feel extremely called to do it. That is a powerful feeling. Yeah, and I'm glad that you guys were able to make the jump.
Yes.
Yeah. And so he went to work and I was like, okay, I'm just going to do this. My husband calls it eye wash. He's an electrician. So like people were like, we need something done. And then he's like, I don't have time right now, but I'll just go do something and to make it look like I did a lot. But even though it was only one day's worth of work, and this is like a week job,
Right.
So I'll get them satisfied that they know I'm going to come back. And then I thought to myself, I'm going to give him some eye wash.
Connections in Kellett's is sponsored by locally owned and operated ServPro of Longview, Kelso, the #1 residential and commercial cleanup company in the United States. They help with smoke and fire damage, water cleanup, vandalism cleanup, mold remediation, and more. And remember, as a homeowner, you get final say on who is inside your home. Local home, local company, ServPro of Longview, Kelso. Thank you.
Also, a big thank you to Mattress Superstore, another locally owned and operated business. If you want to get comfortable, you need to get into the Mattress Superstore with their location on Vandercook Way or their new factory outlet store off of West Cowlitz Way. They deliver, they set up, and they always pay the sales tax. Thank you to the Mattress Superstore.
So I filled out the paperwork with the IRS. It takes a long time to get said yes or no.
Yes.
I sent it off. I signed up with, I got a UBI number, and I signed up with the, Washington Secretary of State, and became a charity, and I got like, him and I were like the only people on the board, at the time. Yeah. And so then I got a post office box, and I don't think I could open a bank account yet because we didn't have like an official meeting minutes yet. So I couldn't do that, but I was like working on all of it.
You did all of that in one day.
I got an email address, and I got a Facebook page.
Yeah.
And then when we came home, I was like, here's the key to the post office box, and here's our email address, and here's our Facebook page. And I signed up, I mailed off the thing to IRS, and he was like really happy. And then I was like, oh my gosh, what if it happens? Oh no, I don't want to do this. I still don't want to do this.
And then it really started happening.
And so then we got a board member. It was the wife of the man who we tried to help,
Awesome.
Yeah, and so then we got another board member. And then we were like, no, who are we going to help? What are we supposed to do?
Yeah, you have everything set up now. It's like, where are the veterans?
Right.
Who is in need?
Right.
Okay.
And how did we find out? And so one of the board members that we had come on, he worked for VIP, which is Veteran Integration Program.
Which is just right on Commerce, right?
Yes,
Really close
yes.
to where we're at right now.
Yes, it's an awesome organization. They have shelter for homeless veterans and their families.
Nice.
And then they do case management, help them get vouchers. They're just amazing.
Housing vouchers, that is?
Yes, housing vouchers. So.
Okay.
And they help them with everything that they need help with. Help them get counseling, help them with budgeting, help them with their tickets if they have past due stuff, help them get, whatever it is, legal things taken care of.
And a path forward.
Yes, a path forward. And
Awesome.
just be able to relax because now they're sheltered and, and they can eat and they can get a job and, we work with them a lot, But anyway, so then this guy was a case manager there, and he was like, I have a Vietnam veteran who's going to get his first house, his first apartment.
Oh, wow.
Out of the shelter into apartment. But he literally has nothing. He doesn't even have a fork. He doesn't have a towel. He doesn't have a shower curtain. He doesn't have a garbage can. I mean, the things you don't think about that you need because your moms give you everything for your first apartment, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes, so true.
I had a lot of random cutlery at my first apartment and like mismatched plates.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
My mom's like,
The
I have
towels.
a half a set of this and a half a set of that. Here you go. Live
I
your
still
life.
have some of it, and honestly, it's a little nostalgic. I found like an old fork the other day, and I was like, I used this fork when I was a kid. My grandma's.
I know. I think moms just live for the days their daughters get apartments because they can buy new stuff and give their daughters homes.
Yeah. So that is kind of the role you guys were filling for this first veteran.
Yes, we were like, okay, we're going to post it on Facebook, and we're going to, because we know if the community knew a veteran needed something, they would do it.
Yes.
And we've been right about that ever since. But that was the first one for my husband and I to experience that outpouring of the community and the love to, like, I have a couch, I have a coffee pot, I have a VCR, I have 120 videos they can have if they don't have money for cable. And I have a phone. I have like the silverware set.
Wow.
We literally, my husband and I drove around the county.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Rainier even. We went all over the place because so
Picking
many
up-
people gave us.
Picking
I
up
had
all these
this,
home
I
goods.
had that. Mm-hmm.
Wow.
It was amazing. And so we got this, we took it there. And when you walked in the house, this veteran, he like broke down
I mean, yeah.
because he had nothing and nobody. And here he is, like, the community furnished a whole house for him.
Oh, gosh.
I know.
You're
Yeah.
gonna make me cry.
I know. It was really,
Wow.
really, really emotional. And then it was like, after that, I was sold.
You're like, all right, I want to do this. Okay, I get it now.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so great. And okay, and Rich is a veteran, correct?
He's an Air Force veteran.
Awesome. That is
yeah.
really great. And so that's kind of where his passion obviously came from for this, right?
Yeah, I think so. I think he has passion for veterans, but he's just so patriotic too. He just, and the freedom that we have in this country, and how he didn't have to physically fight when he was serving, but he still like did supportive things, and how he knows anybody who served. A lot of people think that they're not a veteran if they didn't serve in combat, but that's not true. Everybody who has signed up for any amount of time, even if it is just a 4-year stint, even if they were a gas station attendant, they're signing up to potentially go to war and be in combat, and they're supporting those who are. And so it takes a village. I mean, it's a village. They're their own villages when they go to the bases, and so it takes everybody to run it and operate it.
Right.
And at any time during that service, you could be called off to go fight.
Right.
And so, he has a passion for our veterans and our country. So that's, I think, and then he has so many veteran friends. And then he has also just a gigantic heart for people.
He really does.
Period.
Rich is such a great guy.
Yeah, he's very passionate and loves everybody, and he wants to help everybody, and you just never hardly ever see him without a smile on his face. And his favorite thing to do is pick on people.
In the nicest way.
He says it's his love language.
It's my love language. It genuinely is my love language.
Yes.
I have to be careful with my kids though, because I'm like, is it your love language? Do you understand
Right, yeah.
that it's my love language?
Yeah. I just roll my eyes now and think, oh, he just loves me so much.
It's true though. So okay, this first veteran that you helped, how many years ago was that now? Like, where are we at in the process?
Was that like 2017?
It was probably 18 because
Okay.
that's how long it took me to get on board.
Yeah. Well,
So that's
valid.
6 years ago?
Yeah, 6 years ago.
awesome.
Mhm.
Okay.
And now you're to a point where, what type of services are you offering now?
So we do not go get furniture anymore because that was a lot of work, and we also have we have a board of directors now, and we so there's brainstorming and we're like, okay, we don't want to reinvent the wheel. Habitat for Humanity and Love in the Name of Christ both do furniture, so we work with them. So when somebody says we have a couch, we want to donate it to a veteran, we say either take it to Habitat or Love Inc., because they both will work with us and give us furniture for veterans.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and so that's what we do. So same with everything else. We try to, we were like, after we got going on it, we're like, okay, what is our mission? And the best thing we could come up was we connect veterans in need to the community, and then we bridge the gap. So say there's a resource out there for somebody who they need their rent paid, but they'll only pay them $800 and the rent's $1,200. Then we can bridge the gap.
You're
and
the
pay rest.
Aflac
We're
of
Aflac.
veteran services.
Spoken from a true
Yes.
True Toodalonian.
A duck
A duck.
at heart.
Thank you.
Yes, the Aflac of veteran services. But it is true, because when there are those gaps, that's actually the most painful part. When
It
you're
is,
like,
yes.
okay, I'm so close. I'm so
Right.
close to getting what I need, but just not quite. And that can halt the whole thing. Like, like you
Yes.
said, rent payments. $800 is amazing and so wonderful, but that still leaves you with crushed, how do I bridge the gap?
Absolutely.
Right.
And like you
Yes.
said, it's hard for people to ask for help. It's hard for veterans to ask for help. And so you being that bridge between is huge.
And
Yeah.
and you said that, so you work with other nonprofits in the area to get the things that that your veterans need, whether it's furniture at Habitat for Humanity, maybe clothes at Toutle River or Red Hat, thrift store, different things like that. And so you work with VIP as well then for housing.
Right.
Awesome.
So if they're homeless or they're about to become homeless and they literally have no place to sleep, we try to get them either to community house, chess if they're elderly, but we really try to use VIP just because they're the veteran housing.
Right,
But
they
sometimes,
specialize.
Yeah, they specialize with the veterans. But community house and chess have both also been very supportive to Heaven and trying really hard to get them in when they need a place to live.
I love that.
Yeah. And then emergency support shelter too. If it's a woman who's fleeing violence and a veteran, we work with them too. Sometimes they're even better because they can give them extra measure of protection that they may not get at another facility. So,
That makes sense.
you know, there's really 4 shelters that we can work with within our community, which is amazing.
I love that. We have so many great nonprofits in our area, and we have for a long time some really great powerhouse nonprofits that have done work in our community for 20, 30 years. Community House on Broadway, Emergency Support Shelter, like you said. And it is hard finding nonprofits that connect all of them so that people can really there are resources available, but finding somebody that knows what all those resources are and can point somebody in the right direction, that's hard. So I literally have goosebumps right now. I love that that's what you do, because I've worked with a lot of nonprofits, and that's challenging. There's so many great things they give, but it's hard to tell people about it.
Yeah. And that's what I like to do is the worst feeling to me is if I have to say, okay, call this person and that person and this person. So I just like to say,
Right.
let's call this person. Let's
Right.
call that person. Because when you're homeless or you're
Overwhelmed.
or your car breaks down, don't know how you're going to get to work. And then and then you still have to feed your kids and figure out babysitting. And then you're like, I don't know what to do. And you just freak out.
There's no space left in your brain.
Yeah,
None.
absolutely.
There's no space left in your brain to be
Right.
like, how do I even look for resources? Where do I even go? Even sometimes, when you're that level of overwhelmed, that part of your brain doesn't work
It's true.
anymore.
You're in
It's
fight or
true.
flight. So
Yes.
physically your brain
Yes.
does not work anymore, because the part
Yes.
that your decision making has switched from your frontal lobe to your
Amygdala or something.
no, but I'm learning about it. I'll let you guys know next week, okay? I'm learning all about it right now.
I don't know either,
tried.
but
It's like your sympathetic nervous
Oh.
system and your parasympathetic nervous system. So I'm learning more. I'll get back to you guys. Anyways.
Okay.
It's actually fight, flight, or freeze.
Right.
And
Fawn.
freeze is what happens.
Right.
Yeah, they're just like, I don't know. I can't move. I can't think.
so
I can't
true.
do. Yeah.
Right.
So instead of having to remember a list of different services, the fact that it's like, if someone is a veteran, you don't have to remember the entire
No.
list. You can think, I'm going to call Heaven,
and they're going to
and
help
they're
this
going to help
person
me figure out where to go. what
with
to do.
whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes I'll just call and make appointments for them. Sometimes I'll call with them. Sometimes I'll take them somewhere. Just depending on the situation.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, and okay, so prior to recently, you were a phone call away, and were working and doing this from your home or wherever you were. But now you have an office location.
Yeah.
So someone can even come in
Yes.
and get services. So where are you
Yes.
located?
Where is this office?
It is downtown Castle Rock.
Ooh.
We're right next door to, right on the main street, which is Cowlitz Street West.
Okay.
We're right next door to Castle Rock Auto Licensing. And they actually own the building we're renting, which we don't have to pay rent because they've generously donated the building to
Shout
us.
out to Castle Rock Auto
Yeah.
Services?
Licensing.
Licensing,
Yeah.
Shout out to them.
Amy Hare's the owner. She's amazing. Her family's amazing. They come volunteer at our stuff. And yeah, they're just amazing.
That's great.
So, but yeah, that was like a big deal. And so, yeah, I'm there Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, 9 to 4. I am looking for volunteers who want to sit there sometimes because I have to still go to meet veterans who can't come to.
Yes.
And so
And take meetings to grow the organization to help more people.
Yeah. So I can't always, I was thinking, okay, I'll meet veterans in Longview Mondays and Fridays. But no, sometimes they have to meet me on Tuesday.
Right.
Sometimes they have to meet me on different days. So,
we get it. In real estate, it's like, you think, I'm going to do this on this day. It's like, you're going to do it whenever your clients need you to do it.
So
we
true.
fully understand.
Yes, exactly. Yes. And I do answer my phone on weekends. I don't always answer the phone. I always check the voicemail. If it's, if it's an urgent, I'll call back. If it's, oh, hey, can you help me, figure something out for VA, I'll call them back Monday.
That's good to know.
But I do always have the phone and always check it, just because sometimes, like you said, you're in fight or flight or freeze, and you're making that one call, and then no one's there to talk to you. And you just need somebody to say, okay, yeah, I'll call you Monday and we'll figure it out.
Absolutely.
So I just try to always do that. And our board of directors, I could not do this alone. I say me, but I don't mean me, because it's my husband, who's my ginormous emotional support system, but also our board of directors. We have a meeting every month, but we have a text thread. And if I ever have, a need, I'll be like, we'll all discuss. They're all engaging with me all the time, and
so good.
Yeah, we can vote on something if we're not meeting, and if it's an urgent need, and we can vote on helping, or I can just say any ideas. We have our vice president who works for VA.
Ooh, that's
He's huge.
great.
He's like just a massive resource for me.
Oh my gosh,
because
that's
huge
amazing.
resource.
Yeah, so he can help me connect to services.
Right.
And
I've volunteered at many of your events for years now,
Yes,
and
you
your
have.
board of directors comes out every single event. They
Yes.
are side by side. They're setting up, tearing down, sweating in 105 degrees at car shows, serving pie and serving turkey on Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
And so you really do have a great board, and they're very engaged. So,
Yeah.
And I think
they're
a part
awesome.
of that is because, we've been on boards and things like that, and not everything speaks to your heart in the same way that helping veterans does.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah.
you can feel the passion that you and Rich have for this. And so it helps when you have an executive director, a founder that is pushing this forward, wants to make amazing things happen, So I'm sure your board is just as happy to be with you as you are with them.
Yeah.
I hope so.
So do you find, in the beginning, it sounds like you kind of had to do outreach to find the people to help. Like you said, you went to VIP, you asked them, is there any need that we can fill? At this point, people know to reach out to you. That's how you get the clients that you serve, is they're reaching out.
People are coming to you now.
Yeah, yes.
Great.
And I do think that a lot of people still don't know about us, but organizations do. So we work with the VIP and also VA. We work with VA. We aren't service officers, so a service officer can help a veteran maybe get money every month for an injury that they may have received during their time of service.
Okay.
But we can't do that at this point. We're looking into it. We're trying really hard to make it happen. But right now we don't do that. But we do work with the VA. We have the Portland Vet Center right now, who comes in, does counseling at our office once a week, at our new office. So that's super
amazing.
awesome because it's free. And
Wow.
so it's another place that people can come that's not going to Portland or Vancouver or wherever. But we work with the VA social workers. They know us, and they usually, a social worker usually has multiple counties. So if they know what they can and can't do, and they know the different organizations. So I know if VA social workers ask HEVIN for help, that's their last resort. And so we always work with them and help them. I got a call this morning at 7 a.m. of a veteran who was going to have his power shut off from the VA social worker. So I was able to just pay it right then online because it was going to get shut off today. And he's 79 and he has an electric chair is how he gets around. So he cannot be without power. And so, different things like that. But then we also work with like other veteran organizations like DAV, which is Disabled American Veterans, VFWs, Cowlitz County Veterans Service Center. They all know us. American Legion. And so they know if they end up finding somebody in need, they'll also reach out to us and we can help them.
Yeah.
You know, and so Oregon, and then like Community House and Chest knows us, and Habitat knows us, and, you know, lots of different organizations that know us.
Right.
And so just the goal is for just more people to know about us.
Yeah.
Because, now I don't like really, I mean, we do, the radio station does like free advertising for us for our events.
I've
And
heard
so
you guys
peop-
on the radio. Yes.
Yeah, so people do get to know more and more about us. And then, like when we did the chamber
radio show.
yeah,
Yes.
and the
Put that
ribbon
together.
cutting,
Yes.
and people were like, oh, you know, like they
Yes.
know more and more about us, and they would call us and say, tell me more about you, tell me
yeah.
more about you. So
More
all that's
people.
awesome.
Yeah.
Your name is catching on. People do know what Heaven is.
Yeah.
It's becoming a very popular name in Cowlitz County as a great
agree.
nonprofit that's doing a lot of really amazing work. You guys were the recipient of the 100 Women That Care
Yes.
donation. So yeah, a lot of great things.
Yeah, and we won like small nonprofit of the year from the chamber
did
last
you?
year.
Yeah.
Not this year, but last year. So that was like we didn't know. We weren't even there. We had no idea. We were like, I think we were sick and we didn't go. And
Well
then
deserved, though,
we were
truly.
so bummed out about it. But anyway, that was an amazing.
Well, hopefully
Yeah.
you still got your little certificate. And
Yes.
You can have it hanging.
Yes.
So you have the services rolling, everything like that. Let's talk about the fundraisers that you do in order
Yes.
to be able to offer all of these amazing services. I know you just had one, your big one of the year. So tell us a little bit about that, but then tell us about other things you have going on throughout the year. The fundraisers, everything like that.
Okay. So our car show, that's super fun. We love it.
And you just finished the 4th annual.
4th annual. Gabby always has been a volunteer every time.
It's such a great event. It's so fun.
It's really fun. So we started out 4 years ago at the Calvary Chapel Church parking lot. Excuse me. That they share a parking lot with the Elks. The Kelso Elks. And so it
I was going to say not to be confused with the Elks parking lot. Just kidding.
So that parking lot, we just did it during COVID because we were like, we need to make money and we can't do anything and no one can meet. And so Pastor Al Frederick, who's passed away now and super dear to my heart, was my pastor at the time, and he was like, do it. And it was like, okay.
The perfect COVID event. Outside,
Yeah,
open
exactly.
air, great idea.
Yeah.
You stay in your car. If you
Yeah,
want.
it was really the perfect COVID event.
Yeah,
Yes.
it was awesome.
Yeah.
I think we had like 80 cars ish, and we were like pretty proud because
Yes.
I literally had never been to a car show before that.
Stop, really?
No.
That's so funny.
I did not.
Rich hadn't drugged you to a car show before?
No.
That's so funny. I'm shocked. Oh, I love that.
I
That's
know.
so
I'd
good.
never been. He'd gone and I didn't go.
Now
I'm
she's
like,
the princess of the car shows.
now I love the car shows.
She's the princess of the car.
I go to the car shows to study. What can I do better?
Yeah.
Other people are looking at cars and she's
And then,
like,
like-
who are your vendors?
Yeah, exactly.
How much do you sell your raffle tickets for?
Exactly.
She's doing market research, people.
I love
That's
it.
good.
I love it. That is good. Yes.
Yeah. So, we went to Good Guys car show. We drove. It was like San Francisco area. We drove our 1964 Oldsmobile there with the original motor in
wow.
it. It
To
was
San Francisco?
yeah. It was
Yeah.
so
That's
fun.
daring.
It was
That
pretty
is daring.
daring.
That is daring.
Rich kept saying, it'll be fine, and I'm like, okay. And we had like a rear end leak, and he had to like jack up our car.
It, in fact, was not fine.
Well, she's here. She's alive.
Yeah,
so
yeah,
there's a-
yeah.
I mean, it really was fine because he did it like in our hotel room. He's like out there underneath the car, putting
Yeah.
fluid in there.
Yeah.
Rich is a P-Jom,
pretty
people.
hilarious.
A P-Jom, a precious gem of a man. Rich Black is a P-Jom.
Yeah.
Truly, he is.
He's like, he can do anything.
Yeah.
He literally
He
can.
can.
Yeah.
You can start a whole veterans
He
organization.
can, exactly.
With the help of his lovely wife.
That's right.
So that's your big fundraiser of the year. And you mentioned
The car
the first
show.
year you had 80 cars. This year you had 300.
Yes.
And now you're at the Expo Center.
yes.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah.
Inside, outside, if you guys haven't gone yet, they take over the entire Expo Center. It is huge. It is amazing. You have vendors. Tell us real quick what kind of vendors you have.
We had Boss Hog barbecue. We had I'm gonna say the name wrong. Oh my goodness. Fitz Seafood.
Ooh.
And then we have Red Leaf.
Yay.
Shout out.
Shout out to Red Leaf.
And then
And also shout out to Serpro Mattress Superstore, our wonderful sponsors. Cheers.
And so then we just have like, we have Mark Smith. He has a leather shop. And I mean, there were just so many different vendors selling things.
Kids for, or activities for kids.
So Kelso Bounce House, they gave us like half price on their bouncy house.
Nice.
And because we wanted it to be free. So like we didn't want to charge families to
Right.
come to pay more. Like like you pay to come in, and we don't even do that. We say donation to come in.
Yeah.
But people, they were giving. And so like people who have money give more, and people who don't have money can still bring their kids, go through a bouncy house, get their face painted for free, get a temporary tattoo,
Take a
all
look
the
at all
fun
the
things.
cars.
Oh, and
My
this year
kids
we
love
had
it.
the Reptile Roadshow. Garth Pan was there, and that was a massive hit.
Yeah.
So,
Always.
And he donated his services. So our community just pours out the love, and I love that part about it. So
We do.
They had a dunk tank.
we had a dunk tank this year. We did charge for that.
Who did you dunk?
Keenan Harvey got dunked.
Kanan.
He loves to get dunked.
That's, yes.
He said that he likes to get dunked. He said he was a dunk pro, and yeah, he got dunked right away.
Weird.
Yeah. And then
It's not for Gabby. Gabby is not volunteering to go in the dunk tank.
I mean, I would volunteer like once in my life.
I
but,
think
like,
she said that she was going
that's
to be
like
at the
his-
car show next year, June 21st. Dunk Gabby Graves
Ooh, I'll be
once in her
line.
life.
Absolutely.
So June 21st next year.
Favorite daughter.
You heard it here first, people.
Well, I'll
Anything
make
for the
sure I'm
vets.
there, and I'll take a nice little video of Gabby getting
Yes.
dunked for us,
Anything
and
for
I'll
the
share it. So that is June 21st next year. But I hear you also have some events coming up in October and a couple other things throughout the year this year as well.
So in October, we have some events that aren't fundraisers, but very important. So
Okay.
The Cowlitz County Veteran Stand Down. A lot of people don't know what that is. It is where all the providers in the area come together, and then veterans in need, so homeless veterans or just veterans in need of services, can come to the event, get connected to all these services, any
Wow.
services that they want to. And there were so many last year. It was the first one since COVID. It was the first one I'd ever been part of. I'd went to the one before COVID. Rich and I went to it and sat there and gave out our information, and we were like blown away how amazing it was.
Right.
The one last year was really amazing. I helped Liz Johnston, who's always put it on. I helped her, and we also had a booth there. But we were bursting at the seams, and we had it at the church again, inside the church. And so this year we're
Almost like a veterans needs fair.
Yeah.
yes, exactly.
Wow.
On like a job fair, but
Veteran
there's like
service fair.
Yeah, so there's
I
people
love
there
that.
for jobs. There's people there. The VA's there.
For medical needs, counseling needs. Everything.
Smoking
Housing.
cessation is there. Veteran suicide prevention is there.
Wow.
Like all the veteran organizations are there. So you can get hooked into social. You can get hooked into counseling. You can get hooked into shelter if you need to. You can
Right.
every single thing that you can think of was there to help veterans, and that was
That's
amazing.
amazing.
Yeah.
And that's once a year. And when is that this year?
October 4th.
October 4th. And where is it?
We're hoping to get the funding from the county. We're going to ask the commissioners on August the 14th or something like that for them to fund it. But we're hoping it's going to be at the Expo Center, just because that's bigger, where we can feed them lunch easier. We're not going to be, we were like elbow room barely. And then we're going to ask for a dental van to come, and we're going to ask for
Awesome.
barbers to be there to cut their
Yes.
hair.
Oh my
and
gosh. That's
Love. Great idea.
like so many more things
Yeah.
than try to do it more like the bigger cities do.
I love that.
Yeah.
Wow.
that's
We
amazing.
should. Do you mind if we were to possibly come and take some photos?
Oh, we would love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That'd be great. We'd
Yeah.
love to share all the great things you're doing.
Sometimes when you're at an event, you're so busy running the event, you can't take the pictures. So last year
100%.
we got a few pictures last year, but not as many as we would have
So
loved
true.
to.
Yeah.
So true.
So yeah, and so then the next big thing is November, it's always the Saturday before Thanksgiving. It's called Vetsgiving dinner.
Okay.
And so it's free. Last year we had it at the RA Long cafeteria, and we're hoping we can again because that was a great venue. It's just a free, fun dinner. Hop and Grape donates the food.
It's incredible.
It's incredible. It's just fun.
Jeremy and I volunteer at it every year, and he like fell in love with it so much. And the Hop and Grape does. They donate. I mean, I can't even tell you how many turkeys and hams, and I mean, literally they donate like 10 trays of mashed potatoes, 10 trays of gravy, 10 trays of stuffing, and corn, and that's just round one. And then you guys do 2 servings.
We did last year, but we're thinking about doing one giant one. Like at RA Long, we used half of it. We're thinking about using all of it.
That'd be cool.
And
One
just doing
big
it all at
communal
once.
dinner.
But we have to work with Hop and Grape because they have to be able to prepare it, you know,
Yeah,
because they're working
yeah.
so hard.
I can't imagine. It was a lot
Yeah.
of food at once,
Yeah.
and if all of it came at one time, that would be a whole lot of food. But yes.
So Dave Look was the owner
Yes.
forever, and then he sold it, and the new owner have said, yes, we're on board. This is
Oh, I
awesome.
love that.
And so Dave and Seth, who I can't think of Seth's last name right now, but they both did it last year together. So Dave could kind
great.
of pass on the torch.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and
love
see,
that.
I think that it really just is a testament to the fact that you know you're doing something right and you're doing it in the correct way when everyone is so willing to help and participate.
Yes.
So that speaks really highly of you guys.
Oh, thank you.
So true.
Before we wrap up, is there anything else or is there any sort of message that you want to give out to anyone who's listening, whether it's people that are veterans that need help or people that might want to get involved? Just any message you'd like to shout out to the general?
Yeah, I guess, yeah, if you know a veteran in need or you are a veteran in need, just reach out to us. And, you know, we will try to connect you to services. And if you are interested in volunteering, please reach out. We want to have another fundraiser in October, maybe a crab feed in Castle Rock.
Yes, you said that.
There's a new pavilion. It's like really beautiful. It looks like a log house, and the blue.
out at North County.
Yes.
It's gorgeous.
Like a crab boil.
It's gorgeous.
Ooh.
Well, yeah, it would
That'd
be
be
already
fun.
cooked, so we could just
Yeah.
and do
I
a
know
fundraiser. So.
someone in my family has a clam van and they take it to events, so maybe we could have them come out and do it too.
Nice.
Yeah, they're in Chilton where it's like clam central, you know.
Yeah, nice.
Learn
But
something
anyway,
new
so
today.
yeah, if you're somebody who wants to connect with Heaven in any way whatsoever, just reach out to us. Our phone number is 360-749-2016, and you can just call us, or we have a website too. You could check it out. It's HEVIN, the number 4vets.com, and then you can check us out, and we have all our contact information on there, and you know, like the more we grow, the more help we need. So
And you're on social, right?
we are, yeah.
Facebook.
Mhm.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
So go
yes.
like and follow their Facebook page so that you can see what events they're doing. That way you can go volunteer. You can bring your veteran family members to come participate. Vetsgiving is amazing. The car show is amazing. They're truly my most favorite events of the year.
And Vetsgiving, the last thing I'll say is Vetsgiving, when we first did it, people thought it was for homeless veterans or for hungry veterans or lonely veterans, but it is not. It is for all the veterans and their family. We have veterans who bring 8 family members. It's just a
Grandkids.
celebration
Yes.
of like, let's have fun. Let's
Really
eat this great
community
food.
building. Community building.
Yes.
It is.
And everyone
veterans need community.
and they get up and they visit with each other. They exchange phone numbers. It's a cafeteria style table, so you have to sit by someone, even if you're antisocial. You are stuck by somebody
that you don't know.
yeah, exactly. And so we have a photo booth, and my husband, he just makes them pretty much. Come on, you're getting your picture taken.
Selfie time.
And then we text it to them, and
Yes.
everyone's happy. Everyone's just so happy.
Well, and they keep coming back every year. And also, okay, real quick, we shouted out the Hop and Grape. Before we wrap it up, we'll shout out the Sugar Pearl. They donate the pies every year for this amazing gathering. And what I always love is at the end of it, you always see grandkids running around, playing, eating pie. It is a great event.
yeah, it's really fun. So yes.
Thank you so much for bringing this to our community.
Yes.
And
thank
it
you.
all started with a dream. And I guess,
And a strong-willed wife.
and a strong-willed wife who really didn't want to do this, but is so happy she did, right?
I am so happy I did, because the original plan was Rich was going to run it, and I was going to work full time. But here we are. Like, personalities, come through at your good or strong and weaknesses, and here I am doing it, and he's working. So it works out great.
Yeah.
You are good at this, though, and it shows
I love
the
it.
growth that you've been able to accomplish in such a short amount of time.
Well, thank you. I love it. And thanks for having me on, you guys.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
And thank you to our sponsor, ServPro of Longview Kelso and Mattress Superstore, who make it possible for us to connect with people like Rhonda over at HEVIN. We will see you in the next episode.
Bye, guys.
Bye.